23 years ago, Hunter x Hunter first began in Weekly Shonen Jump, and even today, we're still anticipating new chapters, with many fans being younger than the manga itself. The series has an eternal appeal, and thanks to an anime adaptation by Madhouse and Studio Live in 2011, the fanbase was revived yet again. Even more people to join the hundreds of thousands of fans wishing for the series to return from hiatus. In the meantime, here's 5 things you need to know about Hunter x Hunter. Few series get a second chance, but Hunter x Hunter was beloved enough to get a second anime adaptation, which Shueisha was requesting would be closer to the manga, while also adapting even more of the story. The task fell to Madhouse, who in turn spoke to a number of different companies and organised a rotation where different studios would take care of different episodes. Heading the whole thing would be director Hiroshi Kojima, the president of Studio Live, and so during a speech at the company, he declared that they would be adapting Hunter x Hunter all the way to and including the Chimera arc. But the thing is, the project was so ambitious, involving so many studios across the world, that while the team was applauding, the character designer noted that nobody at the studio actually believed him. The reason for this big, ambitious undertaking was obvious. The show was, and continues to be, massively popular. Even today, the series is getting escape rooms and mobile games, even while it remains on hiatus. And while most authors would love to say that this was because the story came from the heart, Togashi's thought process was more cynical, with the series actually being based on reading reader surveys during Yu Yu Hakusho's run, and then trying to create something that would be guaranteed to be popular. It's still a work he's passionate about, and he's adapted it to fit his own style over time, but it definitely started out striving for the popularity it now has. One of the ways the story changed over time is Gon himself, and he changed pretty quickly. At the start, he was written to be a generally nice kid, with Togashi specifically saying he'd hoped he would win anime character you'd want to have as a son polls. But at the same time, the first thing he does in the story is ditch his foster mother to become a hunter. From there, Togashi started making Gon more morally flexible. This made the battles a lot easier to write, because it meant that Gon would be able to get into fights with no hesitation, while also being best friends with a professional assassin. He's still a lovable character and generally a good guy, but not averse to some of the darker parts of the story. When writing manga, it can be difficult to get everything you want to say into those tiny bubbles, but one point of reference for Togashi was film subtitles. In subtitles, you're generally trying to get across the point of what a character's saying in another language, but with a limited amount of screen space. This, of course, is similar to what manga is trying to achieve. Togashi himself is a big fan of overseas films, with his favourite being Alien, but also being a fan of horror or war movies. Basically, anything where the characters die off one by one. I've mentioned that Hunter x Hunter is beloved, but that extends to the anime stuff as well. After the 2011 anime finished, they went on to other projects, with a large portion working on Ushio and Tora. But when Bandai Namco started on a Hunter x Hunter mobile game titled Hunter x Hunter Greed Adventure, they wanted an anime trailer from the original team. But this was difficult because the original team were busy with other stuff by then. But despite this, they returned anyway. It was difficult to fit in their schedule, but they loved Hunter x Hunter so much that they cleared everything to find time to return to the series once more. And honestly, if the show ever does continue, I can see them doing the exact same, just to make more of the show. Thanks for watching OTAQUEST in Japan. Feel free to subscribe to find out more about the art and creation of Japanese pop culture.